Okay, welcome back, baseball fans, with the APBA Master Game tutorial series. So in this video, I'm going to go over the fielding column finder chart. But before we get started with that, just want to show kind of like the progression of how fielding is approached in APBA. So far as just the range, we're going to cover the arm ratings in a separate video, but just the range rating. So, for example, if you have set up a lineup here. The range in the general defense is the number in parentheses after the position. So outfielder 2, second baseman 7, outfielder 2, third base 4, first base 3, catcher 7, shortstop 7, first base 4. So that's the 87 Giants. So that what you do is you add those numbers up, and if you get to 41, that's going to be a fielding 1 team, which is the best. If you are between 36 and 40, you're fielding 2, and if you're 35 or less, you're fielding 3. So that's the really basic way you can handle fielding in APBA, is just approach it on a team level. The APBA basic game adds another layer where it allows you to look at the individual player on certain play results. Give an example. So look at the 87 Expos. They have, let's get my little pointer out. So for example, Galarraga, he's a 5, so that's like a fielding 1 type first baseman, and Wallach is a fielding 5. So those are 2 fielding 1 players, but you would never realize their full, you wouldn't experience their full defensive capabilities if you just went with the straight team defense, because they're always going to be fielding 2s. You can see the team up here is 40. So what the basic game allows you to do is base certain play results on the player at that position. So, for example, play result 27, if you wanted to play the advanced fielding to basic, 27 is a grounder to third. So if Wallach is a 5, that's going to allow you to use the fielding 1 column, even though your team is fielding 2. For example, Tim Raines, he's a left fielder 3. So if the ball's hit out the left field, you could use a fielding 1, since that's a 3 is a top-rated outfielder, instead of the fielding 2. So basic does address it a little bit, but there's even some flaws in that method as well. For example, one thing that got me more interested in the master game was this play result 27 with runner on first. I'm sorry, we'll pull it up here. 27 runner on first on a fielding 1 third baseman. Let's take a look here. That's runner on second base. So 27, you could see on fielding 1, 27 is a double play. So that means with a runner on first, if the balls hit the Tim Wallach, he's going to 100% of the time turn the double play, which in my opinion is not realistic. However, I mean, there's other grounders to third and outs off of the third baseman on the boards, which you could say maybe it's like a 5-4 4-shot. I'm sure you could find one on here on the boards, but that play result 27, always a double play. So what to do to correct that? That's where the master game comes in, and where the beauty of the master game fielding table is. So as I mentioned, fold the master game book up into, so this is the top page. So you see how the master game handles fielding is you're going to do an additional roll on not all play results, just on certain play results. I'll show you in a moment why it's not all of them. So like what you do, for example, on our example of a third baseman, say he's a 5 like Wallach, and it's a play result 27. So what you're going to do in the master game is you're going to roll again, and you could see if he rolls a 52 or less, he'll get a field. He'll stay in the fielding 1 column. So you see, he has a really good chance of getting getting that double play. But if he gets a 53 to 62, he may just get a 4-shot at second, like a 5-4 4-shot. And if he rolls pretty like a bad roll, like a 63 to 66, he's going to be a fielding 3 for that play. So like a top-rated third baseman like Wallach has a chance to actually make a bad play on that, and maybe just get the 5-3 and the runner advances a second. So you could see the master game addresses that with this extra roll. So there's a possibility even like the best guys can get a bad roll and get a bad play. And the reverse is true as well. So if you have a poor first baseman, so say like Mike Aldretti, I mean that's a pretty bad, like a 3 rating for a first baseman isn't that good. So if you roll a play result 12 or some kind of result that you have to check the first base defense, you could see a first baseman 3. If Aldretti rolls on his fielding roll 26 or less, he'll be in fielding 1. So there's still a chance that bad first baseman can get a fielding 1 play. But more than likely, you could see he'll be a 2 or a 3 play as well. So look at the board. That's how these fielding column finder charts work. And I'm going to show you how it relates into the boards. Now this last column here can confuse some beginners because this is used for 3 different fielding situations. If you have a fielding check on the outfielder, the team defense, or the infield defense. So you would use see this little 1, 2, 3 up top here. So you would use if it's a fielding 1 team, which would be like a 41 or greater. You would roll. They would look at this column. You see the greater area of the 1 is, so 11 to 54. So that fielding 1 team still has a really good chance of making a good play. But another nice thing about the master game is there's a chance that fielding 1 team, if they roll 64, 65, 66, can get even a bad defensive play. So let's look and see how this relates to the boards. And I wanted to show you guys, this is actually part of the tip part when you're first starting to play the master game. So let's say your first game of master game, you think, well, I rolled a 27 and now I got to roll in that fielding chart. Now I got to pull up my fielding chart and roll and see if you got 1, 2, or 3. Well, no, you don't, because if you look at 27 and look at all the results for 1, 2, and 3, they're all the same. Ground out to 5-3, ground out 5-3, ground out 5-3. So you do not have to roll every single time. And for most of the base is empty, it's going to be like that. So for example, anything like 24 down to like a 34, it's going to be irrelevant. You don't need to make that fielding roll to check that. Actually, even through 35, you don't have to check that. Now you can see if you get like the play result like 23, there's a chance like a pitcher could make that play, or a 22, the catcher could make a play. So you would have to roll for these ones, but for these ones you do not. And I mean, you could if you wanted to, but it really doesn't mean anything at all because it's all the same. And that philosophy you want to keep in mind with all of your other results. So just go to runner on second, for example, fly to left. Now, on this one, you do have to roll again because you could see you're going to have different hit values here for the runner trying to take the base on the fly out. So you can see a fly to left. Even though it's the same result, you're still going to want to roll again. As you can see, it says 25, 29, 34, but fielding 2, it's also fly at the left, but the numbers are different, 24, 28, 33. Fly at the left, 23, 27, 32. So because these numbers are different, these hit values, you do have to roll again to check your range. And also, if you're playing your game and you're sure you do not want to take that extra base on these low values, again, don't have to roll on the left fielder's defense every time. Like if you know you're not going to attempt to take the tray third on that fly out. But the key point I want to get across with this fielding column finder chart in the master game is just keep in mind to be efficient. Just look at the boards, and if the results are the same across the boards, you don't have to roll again. So I hope that helps quite a lot. And one last thing you're gonna find once you learn the master game is you're gonna kind of like hone in and kind of remember when these breakdowns happen. So, like for example, on the outfielders, you kind of get a feel. If you roll 31 to 46, you almost kind of memorize it. Like if you roll 42, you're almost certain that fielding 2 is going to be a fielding 2. You kind of know, like if you roll a 54 or less on that top rated outfielder, he's going to make a fielding 1 play. And you kind of know anything high on a fielding 1 outfielder, like a 33 or higher, he's going to stay in a fielding 3. So you start to memorize this chart quite a bit after, say, like I would say 30 to 50 games, where you kind of know, you make your fielding roll and you kind of know where it's going to fall in. But then you could reference back and check, but you kind of remember where you're going to fall in there. But nice thing about this fielding column finder chart is, like I said, a poor second baseman can make a great play. A great second baseman can make a poor play, and that adds that variety, which is really nice. So I hope you guys enjoyed that fielding column finder chart. One of the next ones, maybe tomorrow, we might start into some runner advancement. All right, have a good day. Thanks a lot. Bye.